The 2026 NBA free agency wave officially kicked off over a month ago, and we've already seen massive moves reshape the entire league landscape. Blockbuster deals, unexpected moves, and franchise-altering decisions have cleared out most of the open cap space across the league. However, despite the initial frenzy winding down, there is still a startling amount of elite talent, high-upside youth, and championship-tested depth sitting on the market. From restricted free agents trapped in contract standoffs to proven veterans waiting for the right contender, several high-impact players remain unsigned. Today, we're breaking down and ranking the top 15 remaining NBA free agents left on the board, analyzing their market value, cap complications, and best potential landing spots. Let's dive right in. Starting off at number 15, Kyle Lowry, a former champion and six-time All-Star. At 39 years old, Lowry's role is small now. He played just 14 games last season, averaging 8.4 minutes per night. But the winning instincts, the toughness, and the veteran leadership still translate. He takes charges, hits big shots, and steadies a young locker room. Exactly the kind of vet a contender wants on the bench in May. Lowry has signed minimum deals in recent years, and that's likely what he'll get again from a team needing playoff poise. At number 14, Kevin Love. A champion and former All-Star, Love brings elite rebounding, floor spacing, and outlet passing to any front court. Last season with Utah, he averaged 6.7 points and 5.8 rebounds in 37 games, shooting 37.3% from three. His lateral quickness is gone, and he has to be schemed around defensively, but the shooting, the playoff experience, and the locker room presence make him a valuable veteran on a cheap deal for a contender needing front court depth before camp. At number 13, Joe Ingles. Ingles is a connective, high IQ veteran who makes the right pass, hits the open three, and keeps an offense flowing. Last season in Minnesota, he shot 59.3% from the field and 43.8% from three in limited minutes. At 38 years old, he's a specialist, not a starter, but his shooting and playmaking, plus the locker room value, make him a smart minimum add for a contender. Ingles is exactly the kind of veteran who fits seamlessly into a system and raises the floor of a second unit. Coming in at number 12, Bruce Brown. Ever since playing a pivotal role in Denver's 2023 championship run, Brown has proven himself as the ultimate utility player. He defends multiple positions, thrives in transition, and executes in the short roll. His shooting comes and goes, so his fit is roster dependent. But for a playoff team needing perimeter grit and championship experience, he's one of the most versatile wings left. He's been on a minimum contract and is likely looking for a similar value deal to chase another ring. At number 11, Kelly Olynyk. Modern front courts crave versatility, and Olynyk delivers it as a stretch five. Reliable three-point shooting, high IQ passing, and the ability to run offense from the elbow. He lacks vertical rim protection, but his poise and offensive balance make him a clean fit for a playoff team needing front court depth before camp. He's the kind of veteran big who can step into a rotation and immediately contribute without demanding touches. At number 10, Amir Coffey. Coffey is exactly the kind of 3-and-D wing every contender hunts for at the end of the summer. Good size on the perimeter, capable of guarding multiple positions, and a reliable catch-and-shoot threat. He won't create much off the dribble, but as a low-usage, high-value role player, he fills a need without demanding the ball. Coffey is the type of signing that doesn't make headlines but pays off in the playoffs when you need a guy who can guard and space the floor. At number 9, Seth Curry. One of the greatest shooters alive by percentage, Curry remains a floor-spacing weapon who bends defenses just by standing in the corner. The defense is a liability, and he needs to be hidden. But for a title team that needs one more shooter to unlock its offense, few players stretch a floor like he does. Curry has been a minimum-level signing in recent years, and that's exactly the kind of value he'll bring to a contender needing bench scoring. At number 8, Russell Westbrook, a former MVP. At this stage, Westbrook is a high-energy spark plug, not a first option, but the downhill pressure and rebounding still move the needle off the bench. The shooting has to be schemed around, but for a team that wants pace, toughness, and a proven floor general on a minimum, he still brings juice. Westbrook's willingness to accept a bench role last season made him effective, and he can replicate that for a contender needing energy. At number 7, Jeremy Sochan. Sochin is one of the most intriguing young free agents still available. He's a versatile defender who can guard multiple positions, handle the ball, and make plays in transition. The lack of a consistent three-point shot has kept teams from committing, but at just 23 years old, the upside is real. He's the kind of high-upside developmental piece a rebuilding team could take a flyer on. At number 6, Robert Williams III. When healthy, Williams is a game-changing defensive anchor. Explosive leaping, elite rim protection, and a vertical lob threat that warps interior coverage. Durability is the whole question. It's why teams hesitate on guaranteed years. But for a contender willing to manage his minutes, he offers all defensive caliber impact. He's taken minimum deals in recent seasons due to injury concerns, and he'll likely have to take another one to prove he can stay healthy. At number 5, Mark Williams. As a restricted free agent out of Phoenix, Williams gives you precisely what you demand from a modern physical center: high-level rim protection, relentless glass cleaning, and efficient finishing around the basket. While he isn't going to initiate offense or stretch the floor, he functions as a highly effective role man. At just 24 years old, Williams represents a high-upside young big man that teams with cap flexibility are actively monitoring. The Suns have until August 15th to get a deal done. At number 4, Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga represents one of the most intriguing high-upside unrestricted free agents on the market, packed with elite athleticism, explosive downhill driving capability, and defensive tools. He has all the raw traits of a future star wing. The standoff here revolves around valuation. Kuminga's camp is seeking a near-max commitment, while teams are hesitant to guarantee that level of money for a player who has yet to maintain consistent production over an 82-game season. With sign-and-trade options still on the table, Kuminga's situation could trigger the next major domino in the market. At number 3, Peyton Watson. Denver's breakout defensive wing has hit a major restricted free agency wall. Watson has turned into an absolute defensive terror, capable of guarding positions 1 through 4 while providing elite weak-side rim protection. The crisis for Denver is financial math. The Nuggets are locked into massive long-term contracts, putting them dangerously close to the second apron. Watson's market value is surging, and rival teams know Denver is financially suffocated. If a rival drops a massive offer sheet, Denver faces a nightmare choice: match and trigger catastrophic tax penalties, or lose their best young perimeter defender for nothing. At number 2, Bennedict Mathurin. Mathurin is a dynamic pure scorer with an aggressive alpha mindset. He attacks the rim relentlessly, draws fouls at a high rate, and possesses the size and athleticism to lock down a starting wing spot for the next decade. As a restricted free agent, Mathurin wants both financial security and a guaranteed primary offensive role. The Clippers can match any offer, but the longer Mathurin waits, the more pressure builds on both sides to find a resolution. The deadline for restricted free agents to sign offer sheets is approaching, making this one of the most fascinating standoffs left. And at number 1, Draymond Green. Green is currently an unrestricted free agent after declining his player option. By all accounts, it seems like he's not going anywhere. The expectation is that he'll re-sign with Golden State, but the fact that he's still unsigned at this stage of the offseason is notable. Green is 36 years old, and while his scoring has declined, his defensive IQ and playmaking are still elite. He's the heart of the Warriors' defense, and his chemistry with Stephen Curry is irreplaceable. But the Warriors have to be careful. They can't overpay for a player who's on the back end of his career. If Green is willing to take a team-friendly deal, he'll be back in Golden State. If he's looking for one last big payday, things could get complicated. Golden State announced on August 3rd that they are still in negotiations with Green, so a deal is likely coming soon. That completes our breakdown of the top 15 NBA free agents still on the market. As training camps approach, these contract standoffs and financial chess matches will force teams and players to make critical decisions. The two biggest names to watch are Draymond Green and Bennedict Mathurin. Green is waiting on the Warriors to finalize his deal, while Mathurin's restricted free agency standoff with the Clippers could go down to the wire. If either of those situations changes, the entire free agent market could shift. Which of these remaining free agents would you want your team to sign? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest NBA trade and free agency coverage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.